Okay, the crypto market is back in crazy territory. Over the past couple of hours, Bitcoin set a new higher high. But then pretty quickly after hitting 113,000, everything just went to crap. Like, just for fun. Just take a look at this crazy couple of candles, these crazy candles. So from 113.4 all the way down to 110, and on some places we actually been below $110,000. Now you may not think this is a big deal, but really, especially over on Twitter, all the excitement was really high a little bit earlier throughout the day. And then you know what happened pretty quickly afterwards? Well, I'll just quickly show you. 𝗕𝗁𝗲 also just posted, this is the type of price action that literally creates villains, because everything was looking proper, everything was looking good, and then you get freaking smacked in the face. You know, you get a freaking punch to the nose. And also, pretty quickly afterwards, he also posted this one. Someone said to me, lower and then higher, you think? I responded, lower is not guaranteed, but the higher is. I don't know what happens between now and the all-time high, but I know that an all-time high will happen. Just survive. If you have to, lower the leverage. Something amazing is about to happen. And I really stand by that as well. All you got to do is be able to get through these moves. They keep wrecking you time and time and time again, but that's their goal. That's part of the game. If it was one flat line up, it'd be too easy. Remember, I've been showing you guys wallets that were able to turn 100,000 into like 20, 30 million. How? Because the market went mostly up and they just kept compounding. Theoretically speaking, though, most people are able to do this over time by just having a lot of confidence this market continues to go up. Similarly with the S&P, similarly with gold, think about it. Almost any person could have 10x'd their entire balance over the last, let's call it, few years, if we're talking S&P or gold, or the last 1 year, if we're talking cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin, by purely being a massive bull. I mean, over the last year, what has Bitcoin done? We can take a little bit of a look here at Bitcoin's price. This is here Ethereum, but Ethereum is another funny one. If you just consider the lows of a few months ago to now, right? So in this sense, we've done about a 300, let's just say we did about a 3.5x, right? Because this is 260% gains. So 3.5x from the beginning prices, from 1,400 to almost 5,000. Consider this, let's call it a 3x. If you, like I always say, had about 3 times leverage on your ETH positions, and I always say, if you want to gauge how good an altcoin is compared to a 3x Ethereum long, well, that's again, if you caught the perfect bottom, but hey, I'm not saying you should have been perfect, but let's say you weren't at the perfect bottom, you were kind of halfway in at about $2,000, still about 250%. With, again, the 3x multiplier, could have been pretty good, as you would be on your way towards a 10x in potentially just like, 3 months or something like that. Now, again, not everybody caught the perfect wave. Even we here didn't catch it perfectly. But at the end of the day, if the market doesn't go straight up, at least we've got ourselves the volatility bots. These are basically algorithmic trading bots that make money as the price goes sideways, up, down, wherever. Doesn't really matter. As long as we think the direction, generally speaking, is upwards, they make us a ton of money every single day. And if you're interested in this, you're wondering, hey, where do I find all of that? Links are down below. First link to Payonix is the platform I use for all this trading. And well, as of this point, it's going pretty freaking well. And I keep looking back at it every few seconds. I just kind of refresh it. Some bots, of course, are doing better than others. But one thing that's been pretty consistent throughout the last, I'm going to say, couple of days or a couple of weeks is even 𝗕𝗁𝗲 here, for example, just for fun. You can see the massive loss that it was in earlier, right? And all of a sudden it bounced back. It was in profit like an hour or so ago. Right now it's back into a little bit of a loss. But then you consider that even though 𝗕𝗁𝗲 has not been volatile at all, slowly but surely is still cashing out these grids. Think about it. We put a lot of money in, sure. But for the fact that, oh, I think my camera has turned itself off. For the fact that 𝗕𝗁𝗲 has not made any move at all, to me at least, right? Because we're 22, we're still basically at 22. We still were able to cash out $30 in the past, 2 days here. Even with 𝗁𝘁, right? It's been about 2 days, not even 2 days. And we've actually been able to cash out about $45 US, even though the price hasn't really done anything. You can see the price right now is basically back to where we started, but we're up $50. You might not think that's a lot, but I say it in another way, which is, well, if we keep doing this, we keep stacking this in all these different coins, some of them are going to be volatile. And that's how you get to this, right? 37% or so in a month and a half, almost 2 months here, means 270% a year worth of gains. Now, if you're wondering in the back end what the numbers are looking like and why people are going spastic right now, Rookie had something interesting to say. First rate cut cycle of the crypto bull market with Bitcoin at a starting point of $110,000 plus. You're not ready for what's about to come. Like, if you are not excited about the current position, especially with the idea that even a 50 base point rate cut here could be happening, then I don't know what makes you excited. Now, we also had a new announcement. The U.S. economy added about 22,000 jobs in August, below the expectation of a crazy 75,000. The unemployment rate rises to 4.3%, in line with expectations of 4.3. This marks the second lowest jobs report number since July of 2021. The labor market is rapidly deteriorating, which again kind of backs up this number of crazier rate cuts coming to boost the economy, of course, which brings me back to my earlier stated point of really just survive, just be able to get through all this. As yes, of course, the market is partially pricing in these. Oh, actually, that's literally right here, the announcement. Traders are pricing in the chance of a half-point Fed rate cut this month. You have to also understand that what comes with the territory, right? All the markets right now are in a crazy, crazy spot. Gold futures extend rally to a record $36.50 an ounce as the U.S. labor market rapidly declines. So people are looking for their store of value in gold. I keep stating it again and again and again. Bitcoin, for the most part, still follows along with gold. And what happens after Bitcoin goes for a crazy rally? Our altcoins go for a crazy rally. Right now, you might think I'm focusing more on Bitcoin in the videos. For the most part, that's because Bitcoin sets the trend and the altcoins follow. I still think that 99.9% of the people will make way more money with altcoins than with BTC, but it's a good indicator for when altcoins are going to shine, to look at when Bitcoin shines. I will look back at this and think this was a freaking criminal type of move, though. We were slowly but surely building it up. Things were looking so nice, and people just got wrecked. Then again, theoretically speaking, even just looking at it from a 4-hourly perspective, you can see the trend is still quite positive, and depending on how we end the day, it still could end up quite beautifully. And what I mean with that is, well, we had ourselves the local high at $124,000, right? We talked about that. And then afterwards, it's basically been down only. Every single time it made a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. This was the first time we kind of broke out above the previous part, right? Only question is, will we be able to sustain it? In this case here, no, as we're still continuing down. But now marks the question of, hey, what exactly made this rally start? What exactly made it happen? For the most part now, it seems to be the new information with regards to rate cuts and whatnot. I still think our entry here for BTC is actually quite juicy, as we caught ourselves a pretty good bottom here. Of course, it's only a $350,000 trade, so I don't really expect to make too much, as we only right now are up roughly $7,000 or so, as the price is up a very little bit. But the thing is, this could cascade pretty quickly into a very crazy situation here. As well, if Bitcoin really starts making those newer heights, you got to also consider, if Bitcoin is able to go back to that high point from our entry, that is roughly 15% up or so, which could be a nice $50,000 we are up on this trade if only we go back to those levels of just a few weeks ago, right? So when you look at it from that angle, I know we'll make way more with alts, but it's still nice to see Bitcoin if it were to make such a move. And especially with all the backings in mind, I still think this could be the crazier part for altcoins. But another important thing to remember, the odds are stacked against you, right? This is not going to be a fair game, and there's only a few ways to play it properly. Mostly, you have to just realize they're going to try to wreck you every single time, right? These moves, especially what we saw today, I call it pure manipulation, meant to wreck you, meant to trap you in. You think things are getting exciting again. Ooh, and then they smack you down right there. They smack you. This happens all the time. It'll keep happening. And again, the most important thing is to not let it get to your mental, especially if you were stacking up on your longs because, hey, you were thinking this is the moment where things get crazy. Understandable, right? But then pretty quickly after, you have to adjust again, lock in, and realize this is what they're doing on purpose. The trend, for the most part, still bullish, still exciting. As long as you're able to hold through it, like I've said 1,000 times by now, things will look good. Or at least will be in a better spot. At least that's what I personally believe. That's why I just keep adding to my longs. That's why I just keep buying more. That's why I'm so excited about these bots still, because even though the market is just sideways, we can still make money. And the more volatility, especially these manipulation moves like today, on those type of days, you also see your bots cash out the most. What we really want out of everything is a massive shock upwards and then a massive fall downwards with a massive shock upwards again. Why? Because remember, guys, what we've got here in terms of the strategy, let me quickly show you, right? If we go to placed, you can see every single time the market moves down, it's buying. Every single time it moves up, it's selling. So if we take a look at the transactions today, you can see there's still some of the buys, which is waiting for a sell for. But generally speaking, on days like this, it sells significantly more as you get a little bit of a scam upwards wick going. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I love it. I think you guys love it too. Anyway, if you're interested in that type of stuff, link is down below, like I said. Or if you want to get yourself a nice position right now, I think the best option you've got for when it comes to bonuses when it comes to trading is over on 𝗬𝗂x, as they're giving away a 10K position for absolutely free. Just click it and check all the terms and conditions. It's pretty freaking simple though. Check it out. Link is down below. And if you want more information, you want more discussions, I highly recommend you guys to join the Discord. It's completely free. Link is down below. And I'd expect more people to hop on in and say something about their strategy thus far, or how things have been going, or share some results with their bots, because some of you guys are doing really, really well. I mean, as I told you, we've got a competition going on, and I can see some of you guys' results. Like, well, some people are putting in pretty good numbers. So I kind of wonder why not more people are sharing their results and sharing how they're doing. But maybe, it takes a little bit of a while to get all the people together. It's all fine, though. Just wanted to let you know that that's an option. And that's about it for this little crypto update. I just wanted to say again, don't let yourself get fooled here. Don't let yourself get shaken out. The craziest time is upon us. And that's about it for this little crypto update.